Hello YouTube, I have this old stool here that I just had sitting around. You see it has some ink on it. I'm going to go ahead and try to just revamp it, just give it a little makeover. It's not going to be perfect, but I think it's going to be a nice start to a better look. So what I have here is some sandpaper, and I'm just sanding it down a little bit because what I'm going to do is I'm going to spray paint it black. So this is just a part of the beginning process here. Okay, this spray paint I'm using here is called Quick Color. I believe it came from Walmart for about $2 or less. I'm just starting the spray painting on the sides. I thought it would be easier to just start it from the sides, so I put down some brown paper bag so I wouldn't spray too much paint in the grass. I'm not really paying too much attention to the actual top part of the stool because I will be covering that part up. So if you're wondering why I didn't put more spray paint on the top, that's why. Okay, I was just making sure that I got every angle the best way I can because I did not want to see any more of the light colored wood that it came. Okay, so I did go ahead and allow this to dry overnight, so the next day, and I believe I did go 2 coats, but again I didn't put a full coat on the top part because I'm going to cover that, but I let it set for about 2 days. Okay, so now here it is all nice and dry, and I'm going to add some cushion and some fabric to the top so you'll see. For this project you will need a staple gun. Duty staples is what you will need. You will need a glue gun and the glue sticks to fit your glue gun, your hot glue gun, and upholstery gems or rhinestones. And here's my glue gun. And that's my stapler. And here is the cushion that I use. I think I purchased this from Walmart, but you can also pick that up from Joann Fabric or Michaels as well. You will also need a pair of scissors as well. So right here what I'm doing is taking a small piece of the fabric, and this fabric is about an inch or an inch and a half thick. And I'm just going to cut around in the size, well, the shape of the stool, which is a circle, and cut it out to the best I can. What you can do if you want to is you can flip the stool upside down on the fabric, the cushion fabric, and draw a circle and cut it out that way. I just went ahead and lined it up and just cut around like this. I also use some Fix All super glue adhesive from the Dollar Tree. Now what I'm going to do is add that to the stool first. I will also be adding some hot glue with the super glue as well. And this is just to make sure that when I add the foam cushion onto the stool, that it stays in place. I use this colored pencil as like a guide, but I just couldn't find my ruler. So what I'm trying to do is mark where I'm going to be tufting this. And I'm not going to use all the X's, but once you make your marks where you'll be putting your buttons and tufting, then you just take scissors, or you can take a razor and just cut out the areas that you'll know where to staple. So that's what I'm doing right here. Once you're finished, it'll look like this. Now here's the fabric that I'm going to add. If I was to do this again, I wouldn't particularly use this fabric. I thought it would be nice because it's nice and stretchy, but I think it's a little bit too thin. So what I did is I cut it out and I doubled up the fabric to help it be a little thicker. But I think I would use something that's more so like a vinyl or like a fake leather or a PU material, or maybe even some velvet. So right here, I just took my first staple to the middle of the chair. So that way I can kind of start in the middle and then just kind of pull the fabric as I go along and just keep going. For some reason, my staple didn't go all the way down flat like I wanted it to. So I went and got this little mallet tool just to lay it flat. But I noticed as I kept going, if I put more pressure down on the wooden stool with the staple gun, then it did eventually lay better. This is my first time like really using a staple gun, so I had to get the hang of it. What I was trying to do is get some type of pattern going here. It's a little off, but I'm okay with it because this is like a little experiment. I'm just playing around with it. I didn't cut out all of the X's underneath, so I was just trying to make sure that it was right to do it there. First, I thought that one was too close to the edge. That's why I originally didn't cut it out. But I ended up changing my mind and cutting that out as well. So I'm basically just trying to make sure everything is nice and sturdy because I really wanted to have that tufted look. So I wanted to make sure the staples were laying nice and flush on the stool. Okay, so now what I went ahead and did is I flipped the stool over so I can go to the bottom and start to staple up the fabric, the excess fabric, as tight as I can so it could be tucked away at the bottom so you won't see it. And if you still have more that you can see, you can always go back and use a little bit of the hot glue gun to tuck that away as well. Okay, so this is how it looks after I've added all the staples and tucked away the fabric at the bottom. I still had a couple pieces hanging, so I'm just taking the scissors, just snipping that away. So I think it's pretty tufted. I have them where I want them for now. So I did go ahead. At first I was using the super glue and the hot glue just to make sure it was extra sturdy and in each of these little indents here. But I may have used a little bit too much super glue, so I wouldn't suggest doing this. I think what you can do is just only use the hot glue and that should be enough. Because what started to happen, the glue started to seep through and it made it a little messy there. So don't use both glues. If you do, just use a little bit. Okay, so what you see me doing now is taking a little piece of paper towel, trying to wipe away some of the excess glue that I told you about. So just make sure you don't do what I did and over glue it. Okay, so I'm just adding the last and final stone here. And I did pick these up from either AliExpress or Walmart.com. I bought 2 different sets of them, so that's where they came from. They were no more than about, for a bag of 50 of them, probably about $12 to $15. But I think these are so huge. I think these are about 25 millimeter. I also have some that are 18 millimeter. They just look so big to me, probably because it's on this little small stool. I'm just picking away the little webs that the hot glue leaves. So that's what I'm doing right here. So it's pretty much finished. And I do like the way it came out compared to how it was in the beginning, because it is much more comfortable because it has the cushion. I do like it being black, but this is just a beginner's project. I can see where I could have done certain things a little bit differently. Okay, and remember, this is how it looked before. And this is how it looks after. Again, next time I will use a different type of fabric, but I think this was a cute, fun little project. Thanks for watching. Like, share, and subscribe. Bye-bye.